right, so we've put together an eclectic program of Baroque music. It's music from the 17th and the 18th centuries. And what we really wanted to do was to show off the different colors of the orchestra. And we also wanted to include some singers as well to show the ways in which Baroque music often has an interaction of instrumental music is together with singers. So we're going to start off with a suite by a cousin of Johann Sebastian Bach. His name was Johann Bernhard Bach, and it's a kind of a French overture. It's a collection of dances that were very fashionable and popular in the early 18th century. And this orchestral suite, we know that Johann Sebastian Bach actually had this music performed at his concert series in Leipzig in the early 18th century. So this is music that is not very familiar to us today, but it's actually music that Sebastian Bach knew very well and appreciated. We're going to move on from there to a piece of vocal music by a 17th century German composer named Johann Rosenmüller. And Rosenmüller was born and raised in Germany, and he ended up working in Germany, but he spent tons of time in Venice, in Italy, and there he learned all of the most fashionable, modern Italian styles of music. And so what we have is actually a German setting of one of the Psalms from the Old Testament. It's biblical verse, but it's been set in this highly virtuosic Italianate form so that you can hear all of the musical expression of the singers combined with the instrumental sounds of the orchestra. It's like a little concerto for a soprano and a tenor. After a short violin duet by the 18th century French composer Michel Corret, we're going to conclude the program with a concerto grosso by George Frederick Handel. And Handel was, in fact, a German, but he spent most of his life in England writing for English audiences. And like Rosenmüller, he was fascinated with Italian music. And so what he did, he copied these concertos for strings and winds by Italian composers, especially Arcangelo Corelli, and he put them in a much more diverse and colorful and even unpredictable form. So many of these pieces sound like different kinds of dances, lots of diverse kinds of movements. Some are fast and some are slower, and they really show off the counterpoint between the strings and the winds and the keyboard. So what we try to do is put together as diverse a program as we can, and something which just shows off as many of the talents of our students as possible.